Hey, good morning, crew. Y'all, I passed my test. I'm so excited. Check this out. First things first, I got a little order of business, then we'll talk about the exam. First thing, subscribe to the channel, join the crew. You know, I'm back posting regular videos, so I do have some videos in the work. Like I said a couple videos ago, I have some videos in the work. I just posted a video. I'll put the link up here. Make sure to click the card. So that's one thing. Second thing is, I have a new Instagram page. So my old Instagram page is still here, but that page was really just like my personal page, which is not like I'm posting anything crazy on there. But I did create a nursing specific page. The link, it is called, the page is Murse Clyde. So pretty easy. It's the same as the YouTube channel. I'll put the link here. Also add the link down in the description box. Which means I probably need to get a new outro, because the outro still says Life with Clyde. Doesn't matter. You can follow both if you want to, but I'm going to be really pushing the Murse Clyde Instagram page. Snapchat is still the same, Clyde Kent. Of course, I always post on there. So, on to the next. Walking to the exam, y'all, last Tuesday. The video that y'all, hopefully, you just watched. The video is pretty much ends off with me going into the exam and talking about my fears and all that good stuff. So, walking to the exam, and I think I get there fairly early. The room was hot as hell. It was so hot in there. It was so uncomfortable, and I tried to adjust it, and I think the adjustment worked, but it wasn't working fast enough. Someone pulled out in front of me. That's why I had made the face. But, so I went in, sitting down, got a nice seat. Only thing that was weird about this particular room, because I had never tested in this room, is there was a row of seats of computers. Directly across, there was another row of seats, and they were facing me. And oh, that was so weird, because I don't want anyone looking in my eyes. I don't cheat, and I know my class, I know they don't cheat. No one cheats in the classroom. However, I don't want it to be like I'm making eye signals, because I oftentimes will look up and try to coerce my memory to remember the things that I read. And when I look up, I don't want to make eye contact with anyone during an exam. You know, it's just kind of weird. I feel like it throws me off. So here I am trying to keep my eyes down. And then, so the exam started. And once the exam started, more than half of the exam room was still like a lot of chatter. And I can't take talking during my exam. I don't want coughing. I don't want eating. I don't want even whispering. I need you to try to internalize your thinking. Do you know what I mean? Keep it to yourself inside of your head. I don't want to hear what you're thinking, because I don't want you to throw off what I'm thinking. But I digress. The exam is going through, so I'm hitting some questions. Bow, I know that. Bow, I know that. Bow, I know that. Then I hit another stump. Boom, I think I know that. Now, you know those I think I know that. And it gets you down to the last two questions, to the last two choices. You know how med-surg is. And then the thing, these select all that applies are going to be the death of me, if you get my gist. They're going to be the death of me. I don't think any nursing student just loves them. I hate select all that applies. They're so tricky. Goodness. They're so tricky. You always end up adding another choice. We're not picking enough choices. And then you're sitting there looking at these 5 or 6 answers, because there's always 5 or 6 answers. You're sitting there looking at it, trying to figure out, you know, what's going on. You don't know if you're coming or going. And it's just, you know? But it's okay because I felt like I worked really well through them. You know, I rationalized the answers. The way I was it might have felt right, but if I wasn't 100% sure that this was the answer, I didn't click it. No. I did not click it. Because, I mean, what's the point of risking by the cemetery? You know the road. There was, you know, so many select all that applies on this exam. So, you know, that always makes me like, I don't want to say nervous. It just gives me an uneasy feeling, you know, the select all that applies. So I sit there, and there was a couple of questions that kind of stumped me. But again, I was, for the most part, able to work through them. I learned a tip from my transitions professor, which is, you know, we have this transitions to professional nursing class, and pretty much that course is taught by the dean of the nursing program. And she's so good. I use her tips. She has these tips that are like for testing NCLEX purposes, and different tips on how to answer questions and how to pull the information over. And I want to say that I use her method. One of her methods was always read the question 3 times. Always read the question 3 times. Really, so you can understand what the question is asking you. You know why? Because there was a question that was tricky wording. One of the questions, for example, said, which one of these clinical manifestations or whatever is inconsistent with, I don't know, increased intracranial pressure, maybe. Something like that, right? So you have that. Then there was another question that was just as tricky, but it was worded differently, and it said, which one of these something is not consistent with multiple sclerosis or something along that line. Listen, that was tricky. And at first, I answered the question based off of which one of these are consistent. But because, and like the first time I read it, I just read it in my mind. But because I read it 3 times, I caught that. I said, oh, wait a minute. Because, you know, you're rushing through the exam. You have, we have 60 minutes for 40 questions. So you're essentially trying to get through it, but if you slow down, breathe, read the question 3 times, I was able to catch myself quite a bit, you know, from going over. So that was also something that helped me. There was dosage calculation. One dosage calculation really tricked me, and I don't remember the exact, you know, what was going on with the question, but it was about micrograms and it was a whole lot of different steps, because we always have 2 or 3 to 4 dosage calculations per exam, and then the final we have like 10 or so, whatever. So it was very it was just labor intensive, and so I did it one way the first time, got an answer, typed it in, but didn't hit submit because I always check my work. I checked it, and it didn't feel like it was correct. So I went through it again, actually did it another way, and ended up at the same answer. And I mean, I'm assuming it was correct because, you know, I checked it twice. So that was the only thing that really gave me. Oh, we had some 2 chapters on this exam. So, you know, this is my Neuro Exam. We had 2 chapters on the exam that we covered in med-surg 1 and 2. You know, other neurology type questions. And a couple of questions like Parkinson's, and there was something else that was on there. Maybe, I don't know, but they were on there, and I had just, like, literally just read it, and that night I just didn't even read it. I just skimmed through the PowerPoints because I still have the PowerPoints from then. I keep all my PowerPoints. So I went through it, looked at it, and fortunately I did, because the exact stuff that I actually took a little bit of time, because I didn't take a lot of time because I was running out of time when I was studying, but I took a little time just to skim over it, but I spent a little extra time on those particular, like Parkinson's and those type of diseases. I spent a little extra time on it, and I'm glad I did, because the stuff that I read, it came up. So I ended up getting an 86, which for me, first exam, not a lot of time to study. I literally spent Saturday evening, Sunday, all day Sunday, and Monday. I spent those days reading and catching up, you know? So I do feel like there was no need for me to actually, like, rush through it. But I did start reading last night for renal, because I don't want to be in this same situation. And also there was a, what is this? I just got a notification. There was a, the next test, like I explained in the video that just posted, is going to be really content heavy. Even, I mean, neuro, I felt like was more difficult, just in the sense that because we were only doing neuro, and then like the other stuff that I told you about, because we were only mainly focusing on neuro, you can, the professors had the opportunity to go deep and in depth on certain topics that if there were more subjects included, you'll only be able to really hit the high points because you only got 40 questions. You get what I'm saying? So, but it still turned out well. I got an 86. I'm happy to be. I'm okay. I'm in my final semester of nursing school, so I am not stressing or tripping over a B. I'll take it. So I'm pulling into the campus. I am going to go in and socialize with my folks. You know, like I said, subscribe to my Murse Clyde Instagram page. Follow the page and subscribe to my Murse Clyde this channel. And I will holler at y'all later. All right. Peace.